opportunity. It is a pleasure to be here. I'm really humbled to speak in front of such an audience. It is a true honor indeed. Exactpro started 9 years ago on software testing. We build software to test software. The business employs 500 specialists. Exactpro was acquired by the London Stock Exchange Group in 2015. This January, our management team bought the company back at a high price, but London Stock Exchange remains one of our major clients, and we provide software quality assurance services for their major platforms. Over the years, we never worked with any government or public agencies in any jurisdiction, but we do provide software testing services for mission-critical financial infrastructures that underpin global financial markets like exchanges, clearinghouses, depositories. Our clients are regulated by FCA, Bank of England, and their colleagues in other countries. Today, I would like to share some ideas about how to avoid turning regulatory compliance into a process of fake testing. Software testing is an information service. It is providing objective, independent information about software quality. Fake testing, on the other hand, is an activity that looks like testing, but it has some other purpose. They say that journalism means uncovering things that someone else would like to keep hidden. The rest is public relations. Fake news is reporting things to confirm some existing biases, rather than describing the reality. The reality is like a tree. It is consistent and alive. It is interconnected. It has roots. Sometimes we encounter a new branch, discover new things, but it still exists as a whole. A fake, on the other hand, is just like a bunch of soap bubbles. They appear, they explode, and they are not linked one to another. Fake information works best when it ignores everything that happened before. And there is a striking similarity with designing tests just to satisfy some particular compliance requirements. The gap between box checking and fake testing can become extremely thin. Frequently, people create test cases based solely on some stories, regulatory-related stories in test management system, one or more test cases per each requirement. On many projects, we've heard claims that this allows to obtain compliance requirement traceability. As a result, with every release, one will have a new test plan, a new set of test scenarios, and no consistency or continuity in test execution. This is how the test coverage looks like in this case. But is it appropriate for complex distributed and sensitive systems such as stock exchange or a clearing platform? Software testing is relentless learning. It is exploring. It is subjecting the system under test to various functional conditions until load and processing the outcome. Efficient test automation is machine learning. It is building a model, generating test cases based on the model of the system, and constantly executing them against the system. The model can be improved, and the testing tools are able to learn only when there is a discrepancy between the model expectations and the reality. That is why real testing is always focused on defects, erroneous scenarios, data inconsistencies, and other negative things. It is not possible to learn from box checking, but it is certainly possible to train tools by using failures. To make sure that the test harness is up to the task, most of the time a parallel software development process is required, a parallel process that goes alongside agile or waterfall development process. Usually it means a considerable additional cost. When there is no automated regression, and it happens frequently, teams also try to fake it by using parallel runs. It is taking the same data and running it against the previous and the current release. Idea looks good, but the best way to obscure the information is to hide it under piles of paper. A parallel run produces huge volumes of data, and usually there are many breaks, exceptions in concurrent distributed systems during parallel run. If we just ignore these discrepancies and only rely on particular production days, we are not learning and improving the testing tools. Once software testing go down this path, they stop knowing where they really are. Instead, it is necessary to ensure that test harnesses that are used for such systems are able to go from many permutations outside of the normal flow to build comprehensive models and achieve sufficient test coverage. On our end, we try to use a diverse and interconnected tools network to perform our services against trading and post-trade system. On top of allowing us to perform ordinary regression testing, the tools go beyond and explore random paths. But due to this exploratory and random activity, what can we do about regulatory compliance? We are working on a framework that will allow storing the output from hundreds and thousands of test nodes. We collect not just pass or fail outcomes for every test execution, but also network traffic, log files, system configuration, and especially defects from bug trackers, from test reports, etc., from exceptions. To an extent, it is like a black box on a plane. Every test node collates the data and contributes it as a block into the data storage. The raw data is converted into a set of flat files that are structured in a form that can be accessed by distributed queries. Instead of running a single test case per requirement or several test cases per requirement, what we do is we run analytical queries against the whole database. So we execute enormous amount of random tests against the systems, and then we run analytical queries to show that compliance requirements are not satisfied within a limited small number of test scenarios, but they apply to the whole universe of possible conditions. We plan to release this Cradle test database into open source and hope that it will gradually be adopted by our clients. I hope this approach will reduce the danger of fake testing and fake compliance in our and other industries. Thank you very much.